pleasant.
And I made arrangements through Mike Ostro at Friendly Motors and Mercedes-Benz of Danbury to lease a G500 Gwendel wagon, or what the hell you call them, to drive around the Southwest. And then I decided to, so they delivered it to the airport. Mercedes did. This it had 89 miles on it, this new G500. What do you, Gwendel wagon? What do you call them?
That's close enough, I
Okay.
think. That's it.
Still had the window sticker thing on it, you know?
Yeah.
So I decided in the course of driving it, after I put about 1,000 miles on it,
Yeah.
then I'd just go ahead and buy it. Then I'd have one out here. And next time we go on a vacation, because you can't use, a ranch Suburban, they're not for that, to take kids to the airport, and not for me to drive around on vacation. So I wouldn't do that. And the only other car I have out here is a Ford pickup, so you can't go in that. So I called Ostro and I said, I want to buy this.
Yeah.
But I said, the problem is it's used. He said, well, yeah, but you've used it. So what difference does it make? Who used it? That's irrelevant.
It's a used car.
I mean, if you go to Mercedes-Benz of Danbury,
Yeah.
in their stupid showroom there, and you look at used Mercedes, there's not a photograph of the or any information about who owned it or who put the miles on it. Is there?
No.
I said, well, when we picked the car up at the airport in Flagstaff, I didn't want to buy it.
Now,
But
however,
now I want to buy it, and it's used. What can I get it for? Well, he won't sell it to me. So I'll sell you a new one. I said, this is a new
I
one.
want that one.
He said, I thought you said it was used. I said, well, it has 1,000 miles on it, but it's like new. So that's how I'm getting screwed by him.
It's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
Well, I mean, it just sounds stupid. The conversation even sounds stupid.
So we take Wyatt. Of course, Wyatt doesn't realize that Sedona, Arizona could be one of the worst places on the planet other than Telluride, Colorado. Because every 50-year-old nitwit on the planet with a ponytail and an earring has opened up an Indian jewelry shop or an art gallery in Sedona, Arizona. And they're just so absolutely a bunch of tofu-sucking nitwits, vortex-hugging maggots. But the scenery, Oak Creek Canyon itself is beautiful. And so, and we stayed at some place called, that your wife booked us into, Connie McCord at Tips on Travel, like that, called Les Berges or something.
Yep.
And it's a place for the little cabins, and they're right on Oak Creek.
Yeah.
With the water deal.
Pretty setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have and it's in Sedona, Arizona, for Christ's sake. It's in the middle of Arizona.
Yeah.
About 10 miles from John McCain's ranch, which I couldn't find, by the way. I forget the turnoff, so I couldn't go harass him. But
Idiot.
you have to walk down this rustic, to the dining room where you can't wear jeans or a jacket, or you can't wear jeans and jackets are suggested. Well, I said, I don't think so.
No.
First of all, I don't own anything but Wranglers, and I don't own a jacket.
Humans only.
Oh, leaves me a bunch of frog leg sucking French food. In Arizona, in Sedona, Arizona.
I don't know.
Oh, they made an exception.
Well, yeah. Well, of course. Man. Come on.
Then we went to the El Tovar to Grand Canyon, which is one of the great hotels in the world. God, what a great place. And Wyatt, I mean, for a 4.5-year-old kid, I mean, he just loved it. The only problem is he goes up to the Navajos in Monument Valley, and he says to this woman, where are the Indians? She says, well, I'm an Indian. He says, well, where are your feathers?
Oh, no. Are you drunk? That's just... Oh, no.
Next time he asks me where my horns are.
Oh, my God.
Where are the Indians? Well, he has seen John Wayne movies.
Yeah.
And so, you ever seen Cheyenne Autumn, by the way? We bought these movies that were filmed in Monument Valley, the John Ford movies.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cheyenne Autumn, Stagecoach.
Yes,
great Searchers.
Stagecoach is. Yeah, The Searchers, terrific stuff. Yeah.
Cheyenne Autumn, John Ford, was the last movie apparently that John Ford made.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be drunk. It's the biggest mess of anything I've ever seen in my life. In the middle of something with the Indians, the Comanches being all pissed off about something getting screwed, of course.
Well, sure.
You suddenly go to a scene with Jimmy Stewart playing Wyatt Earp. It's the biggest mess. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, maybe it was his last movie.
He had a good
Oh,
run.
my God.
Yeah, he was older, and, that was it.
Fort Apache, I
He
think.
made one, in other words, he made one too many.
Yes, he did.
That's all.
Because that movie is just a mess. Where are the Indians? I said, God, just go get in the truck. Jesus, God. Anyway.
Where's your tomahawk?
But then he'd seen we bought him the video Spirit about the Horse of the Cimarron,
Yeah.
The DreamWorks deal.
Yeah.
Which is a great animated flick about horses. Now, horses don't talk, it's not like a Lion King dopey thing. And the backdrop for that film, even though it was animated, was set throughout the Southwest, and primarily those very distinctive buttes there in Monument Valley. So we had to hire an Indian guide
To go.
and look for Spirit for 5 hours. Maybe he's down this road, Dad. I said,
Yeah.
well, yeah, maybe he is.
Let's
honey.
go.
Let's
We'll
go
find
look for
out.
him here. And, whatever. Time now for the Scum Report, and here with that is Janice Dean and helping her partner, Sid Rosenberg.
Are there any
They
single...
bitter Sid Rosenberg.
I'm not
Yeah.
bitter. I figured it all out this morning, I figured it out. By the way, I just want to say that my buddy Joe Tacopina is hosting the Dan Abrams show tonight, but that's a different story. I have figured out that you are insanely jealous of the relationship that I have with Mike Francesa. Let me just tell you why. Because your relationship is based on this phony respect, and it's all phony. When me and Mike, it is genuine. It is real. I tell him the way it is. He tells me the way it is. There's no phoniness. There's no sucking up either way.
No.
You guys, this is
Francesa,
one big
no.
suck fest in the back of your office every couple of times, like 2 or 3 times a month.
No.
And then you say you have this beautiful friendship. But me and him are real.
Francesa and I have had our differences, haven't we, Charles?
Well, yeah, there have
Oh,
been
man,
some...
you almost came to blows a couple of times.
Yeah, there's been some...
Remember the time he sat on your cowboy hat?
Sure.
Yeah. So,
I'm not kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh, he punched it or something,
yeah.
whatever.
Like a
Well, good.
Sopranos episode.
Yeah.
yeah, so.
Tiny
No.
in your face.
No, we have
Now
a
what are you gonna
genuine,
do?
real relationship, me and Mike.
Yeah.
That's right, I said, honey. What are you going to do now?
And we've been friends for 15 years.
Have an intervention.
Well,
I just think you're jealous about what...
you're a sniveling, ball-headed schmuck.
Yeah, but what's that to do with me and Francesa?
Well, I just...
It's going to be dark tonight, too.
Yeah.
Is this the Sid Rosenberg Scum Report?
I don't know. Maybe we should be the Janice team. What's going on?
More evidence that Eminem is a pussy. He says he's going to stay out of the limelight this year to become more focused on his work and family, spending more evenings at home with his 7-year-old daughter, Haley, watching Powder Puff Girls.
Dear God.
Power Puff.
Oh, okay. Bernard knows what it is. Power Puff, Powder Puff. Do you know what that is, my man? Powder Puff
course
Girls?
not.
Okay.
Get real.
All right.
Come on, SpongeBob SquarePants. You guys got to get with the Fairly Odd Parents, the Proud Family. You guys got to wake up.
Moving right along. New bride of
Is
Paul
that a television thing,
Yeah, they're all
Bernie?
cartoons for kids.
It's for kids,
The
yeah.
Oh, we'll
SpongeBob
see.
thing is apparently big in the gay community.
Oh, SpongeBob SquarePants is hysterical.
Oh, okay.
You're scaring us, Bernard.
Very funny.
Oh, okay.
New bride of Paul McCartney, Heather Mills, says she's given up chocolate to save her complexion. Sir Paul suggested her pimples could have something to do with her...
What did you call her, Bernie? Stumpy the Gold Digger?
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Oh, yeah. I already took it to a lumberyard for Christmas this year.
No! No! And finally, 2 people are suing Domino's Pizza outlet in New York State, claiming they found pubic hair on their pizza.
Yeah. As opposed to Sid, who would order another one.
Come on, Sid. Punchline here.
They'd find mayonnaise on their pizza if he worked.
Aw.
Oh, come on.
Come on now, that's
This is not what
they're trying too hard.
our new friends in Albuquerque want to hear, is it?
Of course not.
They want to hear us talk about the Lobos getting their ass kicked by UCLA.
Absolutely.
And Johnny Tapia getting another tattoo. What else?
All right, you want one more? A Brazilian woman.
You don't sound good, Johnny. You sound like you're either back on a blow or you have a cold.
It's the drugs that I'm on for the cold and the Midol haze.
Sound
that I'm
awful. What's the Midol thing?
I know.
Oh, I
It's
see.
the mixture is not good. The doctor
I
didn't
see.
warn me
Yeah.
about that. You
Yeah.
know, the drugs for the
Yeah.
cough and then the Midol
Sure.
together. It's
Adverse
it's just,
reaction,
I'm
yeah.
You really are a
combustible.
mess, Janice, you know? Honest to God.
Yes, I am. Do you have any vodka left, Sid? All right. A Brazilian woman is doing just fine after being shot in the chest because her breast implants acted as a bulletproof vest.
Wow.
Doctors say the silicone sac kept the bullet from entering her body deep enough to hit a vital organ.
That's
Pamela
pretty good.
Anderson should have no problems in that department.
Huh.
Cool.
And in the
Yeah.
Dear God, Make Him Go Away
Do they
file,
help you, by the way?
Bernard.
The opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by Gillette Burning,
That is correct.
with the new Mach 3 Turbo, which is a bad as a bone razor.
Boy,
ain't it,
no
Chuck?
kidding.
Oh, yeah.
You bet.
I don't know what the market's doing. It's open, but I don't know. It's not any indication that it's either gone up or down. Or what were the futures doing, Chuck?
I did not hear this morning, man, what
No.
they had done.
The market's up almost 20 points, the Dow.
Oh, okay.
Are there any single good-looking ranch hands that look like Tom Wopat that you can hook me up with?
Oh, yeah, chicken
At the
jack.
Imus Ranch?
Yes.
No, there are not.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to be fewer today. So, no, they're not.
My mom suggested that I ask you that. She's worried about me.
Well, I think you got to lose a Mrs. Doubtfire hairdo. That's the first thing you got to do.
Right.
You
But,
gotta dress more slutty too.
Yeah,
You gotta wear
what?
short skirts.
They don't pay me enough to dress slutty.
You're not looking to get
like,
paid.
if you were paying me $100 an hour, then maybe I would put on the leather boots.
This isn't about getting paid. This is about getting laid. This is two different stories.
That's just not called for.
That's not good.
That was unnecessary, Sid, and revolting.
Look at all the other news girls on Fox and,
Yeah.
and
I
CNN.
need to hook you. I need to have Deirdre walk you through a makeover.
Okay,
So,
well, maybe we could have like an Imus makeover for Janice.
uh-huh.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
The ratings would go through the roof.
You got to get slutty.
Yeah, you do. That's what you have to do.
Man.
Well, I don't know that that's exactly the area.
Well, look at all the other women
Well, I
on,
would hardly
on the
describe-
cable news channels, all the news bunnies.
That was not on the job requirement list when I applied for this
Of
job.
course, not a
not.
requirement now.
It's not going to be off the air, but it's on the air.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a requirement now.
It's a difference between
We're
doing,
trying to help you.
doing
I
this
mean,
for Imus for the next 10 years or getting your own thing on MSNBC. You got to sleep with Jerry Nachman once. I've done it. No big deal.
I mean, you come in once an hour and you talk to me and Sid, or you escape this. You do what Christy did. You get a real job where nobody's watching. But what do you care?
God.
Christy is getting married now, so there is hope, I guess. But
And
did
we
you
have-
tell her that she needed a makeover and dress sluttier?
No, just breast implants.
She knew about this slutty part.
It turns out that my friend, my close friend, I would describe him having worked in Compton, California, and, as I did years ago. I would describe him as my homeboy. My homeboy, Suge Knight, was in fact arrested on December 24th, Christmas Eve.
Yep.
For impersonating a rap impresario. For impersonating a player.
He's in the can now.
He's
I
in the
think.
slammer now,
Yeah.
Suge is,
Yeah.
for consorting with known criminals
Known
who
gang
happen to be
members.
the people who were recording for his label, the Row Records, formerly Death Row Records. So
Yo, yo, yo.
You're doing well between your three buddies, Trafficant, Suge Knight, and Buddy Cianci. You got more friends in jail than out.
it's 33 minutes after the hour. Phil Sims is coming up.
Were you in a cell with somebody?
Oh, yeah, I was in the cell. I had a cellie. My cellie's job was to do the cleaning.
How was that arrangement made?
You know, he cleans the walls, he cleans the floor, and,
He didn't do your laundry, did he?
I got somebody else to do the laundry.
Oh, he did? Wasn't nobody trying to have sex with you, were they?
Well, I was cool on booty in head. Those was other guys. You must think you're talking to Aftermath or something. You said it was the row. All of a sudden, you're changing up on me.
My man Suge. That's a sad situation.
Boy, that
Suge.
is not good,
Standing in the station, waving his heart goodbye.
That's it.
Waving his blood goodbye.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't think you can be Suge Knight and be put in prison having Snoop on record calling you a fat bitch, essentially, do you?
No, of course not.
Mike Ostro at Friendly Motor Cars at 134 Old Post Road in Wappinger Falls, celebrating 10.
You bet.
Should continue to say, because it will always be the case. Phil Sims, good morning, Mr. Sims, and Happy New Year.
Well, Mr. Imus, Happy New Year to you, and I missed you. I'm glad you're back. You believe me?
No, of course not.
Oh, come on, I did miss you. Come on, I really did.
Hey, what did you do New Year's Eve?
Oh, New Year's Eve, nothing really. I traveled.
We did.
Yeah, I traveled. So I didn't get to, bring in the New Year and have, all that stuff. Did you do it?
I went to bed at, well, actually, I'm in New Mexico this morning.
I know.
And we did a New York New Year's, which means it's 10 o'clock here.
Oh, really? Oh, so then you went to bed right afterwards?
We watched the Osbournes on on MTV. They had an Osbournes festival, I guess. So.
Pretty funny stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, one
It
episode after another. So.
When you watch him, it is amazing. That's an amazing show. But so you didn't raise a little hell on New Year's Eve then, huh? You didn't come off the wagon or none of that stuff?
No, but that's always every day is another day.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, good for you.
Now you may or may not know this, but Chris Sims, who is your son, and the Texas Longhorns won the
Hear about this?
whatever bowl they were in yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
You are a breaking news story kind of guy.
Is he going to play pro football?
I think so. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes, he is. He wants to.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
I
good.
think he'll get that opportunity.
Second story, a guy you had a long relationship with, almost not as close as your son, obviously, but Bill Parcells going to coach the Dallas Cowboys. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, interesting, isn't it? I mean, you think of all these people who come together in sports, and I don't think anybody would have put Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones together, so I think it's going to be fun. Of course, playing with him for so many years, it's going to make me follow it pretty close, that's for sure. And the fact that they're in the same division as the Giants and of course with Steve Spurrier in Washington, I think it's going to be some interesting TV and a lot of good conversation.
No,
I'm glad he came back into coaching. Of course, I owe him a lot and all those things for playing with him so many years and winning 2 Super Bowls, but that's what he wants to do. And good for him. He's in great health, so come back and do it one more time.
Now, he said, of course, that he was never going to coach again, and a person is entitled to change their mind.
Yeah, I say all the time I'm never going to eat any more cookies to make me fatter, but I keep doing it. And so, I don't, that doesn't bother.
Whoops.
What happened to Phil?
I don't know.
We lost Phil. We'll get him
He
back.
was reaching for a cookie and the line got cut off.
Yeah.
We'll get him right back.
19 till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. We'll blow off some more spots, and we'll go back to Phil Sims.
We thought another one of those rather-isms, like 2 ticks on a hound dog colder than a Budweiser or whatever the hell he's talking about.
It's like when I go to the bathroom, I say, I want to take an Imus.
Or when I go, I'm going to wipe my McGirt.
Imus in the morning.
If there's any dents in it or anything, right?
Well, no, I think they'll accept it as long as it's running, in mechanically good shape.
I mean, it wouldn't make it seem what it looked like, frankly, would it?
Well, as long as it was highway worthy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you wouldn't want it falling apart on the roads, right?
Right. 14 till the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Just having a brief discussion with our traffic reporter in New York, Lloyd McNichol, who was soliciting cards for the Heritage for the Blind. And I pointed out to her that probably wouldn't make any difference. Well, it's not important. It just didn't resonate, did it?
No, I just didn't.
Those blind jokes are always good.
No, you're just an idiot.
Any multiple sclerosis jokes you got?
There's nobody stupider than I am, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, there is. Here he is now. Phil Sims. No.
Yeah. You're working with the whole group. It's all toss-up. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, from CBS Sports, Phil Sims. But we're back to Parcells for a second.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, Sid called him a fat liar. But
Oh,
Sid,
gosh. What a thing to say. Come on, Sid.
Sid's a bald-headed schmuck, so we know that. Anyway, so Bill's going to Dallas, and Bill wrote in his book, according to, is this a book that Lubica wrote for him or whoever? But anyway, they didn't think owners had any place on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And I agree, they don't. And they can get on television plenty from the press, from the box or wherever they are, because we see them all the time. That fat loser from the New England Patriots, Kraft, and the rest of them. I mean, you usually see them all. And my question for you, and I asked Francesa this as well, and he said he didn't know, but and Francesa predicted, by the way, that Jerry Jones would come down on the sidelines with Bill. Bill wouldn't like it, but that he would do that. And my question for you is, do you know, or what do you think, did Bill, was that part of his deal, that Jerry would stay off the sidelines if he coached the team?
Yeah, no, I don't know that. I don't know, but I'm sure that it's that was talked about, and I'm sure. And you know what, Jerry Jones will come down the sidelines, but he'll come down at the appropriate time. And when the game is in hand, you're going to win, and you want to come down and celebrate with your coaches and your players. That's when Jerry Jones, I would imagine, would come down. So,
but it is just in my view, and I don't know anything about football, other than just being a kind of a fan.
Yeah.
Is it just is an in-your-face, almost egregious act of disrespect? I can see if you got somebody like Dave Campbell, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but. You know, I mean, I could have coached that team as well as he did.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes, I think it's sometimes situations like that. I think it can be distracting to the players, and you know, it can change the attitude of what's going on in the organization. Yeah, I think there's the proper time always for people to come on the sidelines to be seen and how to act, and so I'm sure they talked about all that. And you know, Bill is very meticulous when it comes to situations about his team. You could be, I don't care who you were. If you were watching practice and you weren't supposed to be there, he would spot you, and he wouldn't hide his emotions as far as getting you removed. And so I'm sure they talked about it. I'm sure they got it straightened out. And I think those are the little problems. So they straightened that out right away. And, you know, the big ones is just how they're going to run the football team and who's going to be in control.
The other question is, how much money is it going to take to get Belichick to come down and coach the defense?
Oh, now wait, I just want to know this. Are you officially now going to jump on this Cowboy bandwagon or not?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I figured, you know, because it's, you know, just think of the NFL, the attention it brings to the NFL.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm mad about, it's the NFC and not, you know, the AFC, so we only get like one Cowboy game a year, so we don't like that. But it'll be great for the league, and it's good. It's always good to have a terrific coach back, and I don't think Bill Belichick's going to come down there right yet. It might be a few years before he gives up that New England job.
Did you see that Jets-Packers game?
I did.
Does it look like anybody could beat the Jets?
No. I tell you, the Jets have been. It's not a mistake. They're just not hot. They're playing so well in so many areas, and they got a home game. They're going to be tough, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the playoff games. They have a chance to do this and go to the Super Bowl just about as good as anybody else out there right now. I watched them play New England and on that Monday night game, and really, because I did New England the following week last week, and I was just like amazed at what a different team they were from what I saw, you know, 5 or 6 weeks ago. And they played well, and they're going to do well.
I saw that ad with Tiki Barber and his brother, that credit card ad.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, Tiki dropped his wallet in that one. I mean, Jesus, God, can you fumble more times than he fumbled?
Well, that was rough. That was an unbelievable day for the Giants. And the good thing for Tiki is, and of course I've done that too, where our team has played great, and I kept throwing interceptions one after another. You just sit over there and you just go, somehow I hope we can win, because that's the only thing that's going to take away what you've done. And so the Giants won, so it's not that big of a deal that he fumbled 3 times.
But they don't look like they're going to go anywhere, do they?
Oh, I think the Giants are...
Well, come on, Phil.
Come on. I'm not a homer either.
No, of course not.
No, I'm not.
Well, where are they going? Who do they play first?
San Francisco.
That's over.
No, it's not. They can beat San Francisco.
Well, yeah, you and I could get a team together with Bernie and Lou and Charles, and we could beat San Francisco. We're not gonna, but we could.
I don't think so. What position would you play? That's
well, I would be the water guy.
You would be the meddling owner. That's what you would be.
I would run out with the Gatorade bottle.
You would be great. You'd come down the sideline with your big cowboy hat on. And
I'd never do that.
Oh, my gosh.
Who else looks good? The Raiders look pretty good, right? Tampa Bay look pretty...
Raiders they really look good.
Tampa Bay didn't have their quarterback, but...
Yeah, Tampa Bay just has a hard time with their offense. Their offensive line is just average, and they have a hard time scoring points. So when you look at in the playoffs, well, they only need to win 2 to get to the Super Bowl. It doesn't sound like a great task, but I think it'll be pretty tough for them.
Of course, I thought, I didn't realize there were 2 Johnson quarterbacks on the team, so I couldn't understand what was going on. It took me a while to figure that out, but...
No, not you.
Once I found
on top of You mean you didn't have the sports doctor line you up with all this stuff?
Well, no, I was out here, so I couldn't get a hold of him, so I didn't know what exactly... And Lupic, I don't know where he is, so I didn't have anybody to talk to.
Well, you think Lupica would know?
Yeah, very good point. So.
Oh, no, I mean, he knows a lot, but, well, whatever. I won't.
And what are you guys doing? Just a dumb question, but I don't know. So you and Greg are doing a game this weekend?
We do. CBS only gets one game on Wild Card Weekend because ABC will do 2 games on Saturday. We got the Sunday game, the Cleveland Browns going to Pittsburgh. So it's a rivalry. They've already played twice this year. Pittsburgh won 2 close games, so we know it's going to be close. And when close games make good TV, so that's what we hope for.
Well, have fun, and Happy New Year. We'll talk to you next week.
Same to you. Good to have you back.
Thanks, Phil.
See you guys.
Phil Sims here on the Iverson Morning Program.
Imus in the morning.
Hi, I'm Lynette Jennings.
The WSAN Box Office Blitz Thursday.
All right, time now for WFAN Box Office Blitz. Caller number 11 at 1-800-821-6611. Tickets to see the Rangers and the Senators Monday, January 6th. At the Garden, it's an 8 o'clock start. You score a pair.
Schedule a screening at the Colon Cancer Prevention Center by calling 201-996.
Oh, I love it.
I have to. Mr. Namath is with us, and
Just very excited. The deconstructing, the disassembling of, the Giants. It was just...
It was great.
It was motor time is what it was.
And Sid, of course, is just
despondent. He's sick. Yeah.
Claims he didn't sleep. And
yeah.
Are there other big Giant fans here at the radio station?
Not as big as him.
Okay, so he's the only one that's going to be. No. All right, what's going on?
South Korea is about to unveil a plan for trying to ease tensions over North Korea's nuclear program.
They hate us too, South Korea.
Yeah, they hate us.
They hate our troops. Don't
they hate us. I mean, for whatever reason, the hate is growing in South Korea.
Yeah.
Officials from South Korea and Japan are in Washington, though, for 2 days of talks. South Korea looking for compromise, expected to seek concessions from North Korea on nuclear weapons in exchange for some security guarantees. But White House officials say they won't talk with the North until it decides it will abide by this 1994 agreement to end its nuclear program, of course, which it said that it was abiding by, but cheated for all the years.
Well, I mean, come on here.
Meantime, potential key player China isn't participating in the talks in Washington now, but the U.S. is sending diplomats to China seeking help from a close ally of the North Korea. In fact, of course, the North Koreans practically a client state of the Chinese. And the UN's nuclear agency says its inspectors don't answer to any single government. That following this televised speech from Saddam Hussein today, marking Iraq's Army Day, in which he accused UN inspectors of engaging in intelligence work rather than searching for weapons of mass destruction, which, of course, it denies it has in the first place. Saddam says the inspectors have hidden agendas. The UN nuclear agency responds saying it flatly rejects such accusations.
Jim Maceda is in Baghdad, and here he is now. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Happy Army Day, Iman.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
And happy Army Day. Why don't you see if you can get yourself taken hostage here? Maybe we can get a movie out of this for you, huh? Did we talk about this before?
That's right.
No, we didn't.
What?
It is the latter, unhappily, dead. Dead since April of '95, as I recall my own passing, and never, in the years intervening, have I witnessed such an abandonment of principle and desertion of ideals as I have observed in these past several odd days. Yes, I speak of the complete emasculation, and, if I may coin a word, the effeminization of football notable Bill Parcells, born Dwayne Charles Parcells. And perhaps in that, our first faint hint of trouble. For where out of Dwayne Charles do you get the name Bill? You don't. It's an unsupportable fabrication. In short, a lie. It would not be the last. You know the story. What's happened here? Bill Parcells, the legendary coach who led the New York Giants to 2 Super Bowl titles, the Patriots to that big game, who turned the hapless New York Jets from doormat to AFC East champs in 2 years, and upon retiring in 2000, declared,
I'm not going to coach any more football games. This is definitely the end of my coaching career.
That man, that big tuna in 2003, has come out of retirement to turn himself into nothing short of a whore, spread-eagled for the amusement of the lowest mammalian form of life ever known, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, on the bottom end of a gauge of creatures with body hair, we find Jerry's, Lewis, Vail, Springer. And for those who believe the scale could go no lower than Glanville, Jerry Jones, the lucky hick who owns what once was, so many, many years ago, America's team. Jerry Jones, the obsessively controlling vampire who stalks the sidelines to suck the lifeblood from coaches and players alike, and who now will be draining the vital essences of the tuna. For how did Parcells emasculate himself, become a gridiron cross-dresser, an object of derision, mockery, and contempt? By surrendering every last particle of his manhood. You heard it. It made you sick.
Well, you can just do what I've been doing. When you're a guy like me, you can just do what I've been doing the last couple of years so long. And then it just gets you again. And you just say, hey.
Hey, what, Coach? Hey, Mr. Jones, let me roll over for you and stick my fat, flabby fanny in the air for your pleasure? For it is clear that Jerry will indeed have his way with our Bill. Stalk the sidelines, or whatever else you want to do? Yes, sir, Mr. Jones. Yes, sir.
I understand, firstly, that I'm an employee of the Dallas Cowboys and that we have an owner in place. And we have entered into a partnership. I do know that if there were ever anything that were to come down to where there were disagreements, which I don't think there will be, that the ownership would prevail in that regard. And I readily accept that. And we will work in concert.
Pathetic. From this man who once so famously wrote that if an owner wanted to drop around during the week and encourage players, fine. But once that owner wanted to coach, that he, Parcells, would be out of there the next day. Evidently, $17.1 million. Chump change can not only change one's mind, but also drop one's drawers. Yes, dear listener, as though this script had been written by Sopranos creator David Chase himself, you and I have borne witness to the pitiful sight of Big Tuna becoming Big Pussy. What's left to say? Perhaps only this, that not unlike the now long dead Big Pussy, sad to say, this tuna stinks. Speaking of sports, this is Howard Cosell, and I'm only telling it like it is.
Young girl, Imus in the morning.
Turning 80 doesn't mean life gets boring. Take BMW motorcycle.
Okay, why management won't say anything. If they're bad, they'll blame it on something. They'll come back and say, so I'm giving you a choice on the MSNBC poll. Will they blame it on politics? Will they blame it on Sid and Janice? Or will they blame it on country music? Half of you think they'll blame it on country music. And 32% of you think they'll blame it on Sid and Janice. 18% think they'll blame it on politics. So, but they've already acknowledged, one of them, that they don't have much of a leg to stand on. And they're incidentally, radio ratings are not like television ratings. They are so, and you can get a sense. It's pretty safe to assume that Howard Stern would be number one. I would subscribe to that. But the rest of that is just, there's no way to really know because they're so inaccurate. And an audience like ours never gets measured.
Sure, it's great.
So,
it's
you know, our audience, just other than a few apartments on Park Avenue on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, don't live in New York. So, anyway.
It's indicative.
I don't think these books go to nursing homes, do they?
No, they don't. You know, I was just reading Bob Schieffer's book. It's called This Just In, What I Couldn't Tell You on TV, published by Putnam.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's a famous story that I'm not going to go into now, but when Jack Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, Bob Schieffer was a night beat reporter, police beat reporter for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
And the first chapter is entitled Oswald's Mother.
Yeah, great story.
And it's the weirdest,
unbelievable
chain of events. But he told the story on the air a few years ago. But I just read the first 3 or 4 pages, and I already learned something new.
Yep.
And according to Bob, you know, there was criticism during those years that the Secret Service agents, some of them had been out all night partying and weren't as alert as perhaps they should have been the next day in Dallas.
At least that was a suggestion. Yeah.
They were at a club in Dallas, or in Fort Worth, where the waitresses wore only underwear.
Yeah, none.
Yep.
And the dollar bills were flying.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were there with Bob. It's not good.
He was with those Secret Service agents at that place.
So this just in, what I couldn't tell you on TV, in the first 4 pages is already what he couldn't even tell us on the radio.
Yeehaw!
When he told the story.
When he told the story. I mean, this is just from one of the great reporters in the history of this medium. This is a great book, and particularly if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just one story after another. This just in. Anyway, Janice Steen's here, and so Sid. Sid's, of course, distraught over the Giants losing 39-38 to the San Francisco
Looks
49ers.
very, very tired.
Yeah. But I can't understand why you wouldn't just, when the game was over, and the game was over early.
Right.
7:30 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just go to bed.
I couldn't sleep, my man.
Knock back a few drinks and take some...
Well, I can't do that anymore, though. Got to take it easy. What do you mean, why? Has anything ever bothered you so much you couldn't sleep before?
Oh, yeah, of course, but not an athletic event.
Wow.
You know, if you had throat cancer tomorrow, Tiki Barber wouldn't give a rat's butt about it.
That is not true.
What do you care if they win or lose?
I mean, you're all wrong
Do you
about
think
that.
these players had a hard time sleeping last night?
Yes, I do.
Not at all.
Yes.
On their $1 million beds?
Yes, I do. Yes.
They care nothing about you. What
That's
about you
not
can't
true.
sleep because of them?
Yes.
You got some void in your life
Why is
that affects you like that.
Well, I disagree. I think that, every once in a while you got to be passionate outside of, work and the wife and the kids, and there's got to be something else that you're passionate about.
Players should be that.
Players were passionate. You don't think they were destroyed last night?
They're probably excited.
Jason Sehorn really looked distraught.
Wow,
Laughing with the other team.
Got some vacation time now.
Sehorn was laughing after the game.
Oh,
but
yes, he was.
He was. I saw that. You're right.
Now, you can't do that. If you're a New York Giants player and you just lost a game like that.
You can't be smiling on TV.
You can't be yucking it up with the opposing team.
No, we did that. We went over that in Houston a couple weeks ago. Remember, Ryan, man? I was going crazy with Sehorn and Dwight Johnson, so we've been over that already. That's terrible. There's no doubt about that. They ought to just walk off the field and hang their heads. And like Strahan walked off the field, he was destroyed.
Plus, he couldn't. Not only could he not cover Terrell Owens, he couldn't have covered Gary Owens.
Nothing.
What are you, nuts?
He's laughing, yucking it up.
27 after the hour. Briefly, what's going on in the world of scum, Janice?
A U.S. judge has temporarily prevented police from releasing a video shot during singer Diana Ross's arrest for drunk
Well, that
driving.
should be a scream.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
CBS FM 101.
It's your mind that's in trouble. K-Rock.
Imus in the morning.
Can I get you anything, sir? Cookies, blue potato chips, and biscotti.
Cookies.
And it's all of these, you know who Bob Schieffer is, I would assume.
Yeah.
And it's all of these stories, that he couldn't tell us on TV. Beginning with this remarkable story of driving Lee Harvey Oswald's mother from Fort Worth to Dallas to... I mean, there's no way to describe. And this is a book where I would get off the air and go back in my office and read it, or just sit there and read it for a while, which I don't really have time to do.
Right.
Trying to, with everything else, but
this is that compelling.
That's how good that
Yeah.
is. And, it's 400 pages. I mean, it's just... Well, I'm happy for him that he put together, and he thanks me effusively in his introduction, which is not which was more than he should have, and I just made a casual suggestion that he ought to do a book and call Lester Newberg, which is what I've done for a lot of people.
Right.
So I didn't do anything. But I'm not being self-effacing here.
No, but nothing to deserve this overwrought.
Thanks to me.
Good Lord. Come on, Bob.
Like it was, I mean, I have literally called Lester Newberg about a lot of people who want to do books or should do books or that kind of thing.
And this is an idea, and it was a good one.
This just happened to work out.
Yeah.
But he had to first of all, he had to have the stories, then he had to be able to write them down, and then he had to be willing to write them down.
Mm-hmm.
Had to have them, be able to do it, and then be willing to do it, and then do it.
And then do it, right.
So he did all that, so it's very nice of him, but I like him a lot.
Sweet man.
We all
Really
like him.
is,
He's a terrific reporter. We're talking about Bob Schieffer from CBS News.
Let's all hug.
The host of Face the Nation.
It's a class act.
Bob.
I would love Bob.
I was actually amused yesterday.
I want to have Bob's clone. What?
In talking with Senator John McCain, who was on Face the Nation yesterday. that Gloria Borger from U.S. News and World Report is leaving that program to go to CNBC to co-host a show with who?
I forgot who it was.
Well, that's not good.
Co-host. Not even host. Co-host.
On CNBC.
CNBC. Right. Leaving Face the Nation. Goodness gracious.
What's the nation going to do now?
Right. How do we face the nation?
Oh, my God.
Well, my point is...
Gloria.
Well, it's clear what my point is.
Yeah, this is not a good move.
Why would you leave a high-profile shot like that to go to CNBC to just disappear in the woodwork?
Maybe Bob is trying to play a little too much grab-ass with her during the commercial breaks.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what he was
You
doing.
never know what's going on behind the scenes. That's a virile man, that Bob Schieffer.
I understand. He is all of that, but I cannot see him reaching over to
grabbing on
fiddle with Gloria Borger.
Gloria Borger.
What, she's not that attractive?
No,
that
has nothing to do with it.
You're right.
But, I mean, he's too much of a, I don't know.
Well,
of course he is.
If you actually see her walking from behind, you would understand his actions. No doubt about it.
Really?
Baby got some back. That moves sweet.
Well, what has happened to you?
He's saying Gloria is appealing physically, particularly viewed from the rear.
But how do you know that?
I've seen her. I've been over to CBS. I've been checking her out. I've been scoping out that booty.
Well, no, I don't. But I, as you, am puzzled about why she would, make this exit.
Well, and then what's going on in this? I mean, it's so clear what Newsweek and Time and the rest of the liberal media and their agenda are trying to drum up this little geek from North Korea, Kim Jong-il, when he may in fact be everything they say he is, but I mean...
It also helps that they happen to be right.
Yeah, I guess that would help, wouldn't it? Well, that boy's a weird little dude, don't he?
Oh, man, he's freaky.
He got his freak on, don't he?
He never takes it off.
5'3", got a mental patient haircut.
Yeah.
He's daddy's little boy.
I guess his mother died when he was young. Single digit. So, she's 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
And the father just, treated him like, so he's got a bunch of that going on. Kind of like, I guess, sort of like Mad Dog Russo's dad treated him.
Yeah?
Wouldn't take him to any Yankee games, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Or whatever. And,
so he's freaked out.
And the boy got a taste for the Russian hookers.
And
who doesn't?
And the French wine. And the fresh rock lobster.
Yeah.
They are the best.
So.
Well, his people starve.
Well, we're going to go after Iraq, though. The clear and present danger. All right? We'll only lose a few hundred people, says Rush Limbaugh. What's that? That's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
What do you think we ought to do, Lou?
No way should we be over there.
What do you think, Chuck?
Well,
I'm somebody round table now.
I hate to see Saddam Hussein become this guy.
Right, we'll only lose a few hundred. Maybe if it's urban warfare, maybe 1,000. So it won't be a big deal. It won't be
I don't think we need to be putting words in Chuck's mouth. I don't think Chuck said that.
Well, it's the Rush Limbaugh mentality.
Well, Chuck's not Rush
We can take care of this.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
he a bigger threat than Jong-il? Kim Jong-il.
Well, I would hate to see him become a nuclear force in the Middle East. I mean, then it boils down to me: who do you want to control? Who do you want in control of the global oil supply on which this country in the West bases its survival? George Bush or Saddam Hussein?
So we can continue to drive, you and me, our Saudi utility vehicles.
Whatever.
And what happened the last time he started building nukes? In 1981.
Yeah. Well, isn't...
Israel took care of it.
Well, let's take care of it.
Bingo. Let them take care of it.
Isn't
fine. I don't care who takes care of it.
Isn't the little North Korean psychopath a larger threat? Should he not be dealt with first?
He's already got the nukes.
Well, take them away from him.
Exactly.
He already got the nukes and got the...
Well, I understand that. Well, then why...
fourth largest standing army. It's a little bit more difficult.
In other words, we're not going to do that because it's too difficult, or what?
No, I know. It may have to do that. It may come to that.
Yeah, but if he's already got them,
right?
We just think the other guy's got them.
What we would like to do, I would think,
prevent
is
him from getting them.
Right.
But this guy's got them.
Exactly.
Well, why don't we deal with that?
Well,
because we made the mistake of committing ourselves to an unnecessary war. We're already full tilt heading towards it.
Lou, what do you think?
I just think we should pull out of all these countries. Let them all kill each other.
That's,
What do we have to do? What do we have to do all of it for?
Aren't you driving a Jeep? You little psycho from North Korea. Nothing?
Apply pressure to China, Russia, Japan, South Korea, to deal with him in some sort of economic fashion.
I mean, diplomacy.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, how about sanctions? More sanctions.
Yeah, the sanctions always work.
And if not, if they don't work, then we invade, like we're doing Iraq. Isn't that the policy? It's a little flawed.
Well, yeah. You're dealing with a different animal.
Here's what doesn't make sense to me is why. The only reason that you want to go into Iraq is because it's easier.
Only a few hundred will die. Come on.
He didn't say that.
If there's any justification for going into Iraq, it's to preserve the economic stability of the Western Hemisphere.
Well, it's fine. That's not any threat now. He still needs to sell his oil to us. He's had enough to do that, has he? The other little bastard might get freaky on us.
He very well could.
He could sell this stuff to Al-Qaeda and then what?
Absolutely.
He might be able to reach Alaska and Hawaii with the nuclear weapon. He has the capability to deliver them.
We need to deal with him now, Chuck. We need to jump on him now. We need to jump on him with both feet.
Well, there are people in the administration who believe that that sort of duality can be carried out.
Either that or get him and Janice both a makeover. Because her hair needs as much attention as his.
She's a rich girl, she don't try to hide it. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Diamonds on the soles of the 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 shoes. Diamonds in the morning.
Arthritis sufferer Mel Bryant of...
Plus, if you're between 19 and 64 and don't have health insurance, look into Family Health Plus, New York State's health insurance program for adults. To learn more, call 1-877-9FH+. I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
12 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Here's Peter from Long Island on line 4. Good morning, Peter.
Hello, Imus.
How you doing, baby?
Don, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Been listening to you for 30 years. Listen, it should have been offsetting penalties. There were 2 fouls.
Well, what are you talking about? Which game?
The Giant game.
Oh, the Giant game.
There was 2 penalties. There was the pass interference, and there was illegal man downfield.
No,
it
Pete, there can't be a pass interference if there's an illegal man downfield.
But that's it. Why not?
Pete, think about this for a second.
Yeah?
If the guy's illegal to begin with, how could it be pass interference? Pete, if the guy is illegally downfield, how could it be pass interference?
I don't know.
He can't be involved in the play to begin with.
Wait a minute, don't holler at
What are you, Russ Salzberg?
Well, I'm just saying.
Pete has a question.
No, but it's a stupid question.
No, it's not a
Pete, if the guy is not supposed to...
No.
Come on, Sid, I'll buy you a shirt. Calm down.
Calm down, Sid. Pete just wants to know. Pete's some schmo from Long Island. He doesn't know.
No, you know what, Pete?
He loves the I-man.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
he is a nice guy.
He sounds like a very nice guy, but it's just a moronic question. If the guy is illegally downfield, how could there possibly be a pass? He's not supposed to be there in the first place.
So was the guy that was illegally downfield?
He's illegally downfield, Pete. What is the problem? What don't you get about this? This isn't calculus. He's not supposed to be there in the first place. How could there be a penalty, idiot?
No.
Wait
a second. No. You can't call Pete an idiot.
No,
Pete.
Not idiot. Pete, we're sorry.
Pete, I apologize for Sid. Sid's an a-hole.
No,
And,
he's not an a-hole. He's a short thief, but he's not an a-hole.
Okay, thanks, Pete. 11 minutes till the hour here in the Emerson Ryan program. What's wrong with you, Sid?
I got
Scream it, Pete.
Well, because I just got a little excited. I mean, because if he's not supposed to be, I don't know. I think it's very simple, don't you? Don't you think it was simple? I mean, you understood right away, right?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Get ready all day for that.
That's it. Sports radio.
God almighty.
So that's what you guys do? You scream at these people?
No, we don't always scream at the people. That's not true. Sometimes we,
Next 9 hours of that.
No, that's not true.
Oh, God. Absolutely.
I've actually heard Francesa, who's pretty mild-mannered. I've actually heard him get annoyed at these people.
Oh, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, not
Because they're all idiots.
Not often.
Sid's actually right.
I mean, yeah.
No, I understand that, but I mean...
patience is just wearing thin today as it is. I'm very upset today, which you know I, man. And
well, your team lost. Because your team sucked.
Well, I mean, that's...
They folded up.
There's no reason to put it like that, I mean.
Your
please.
team folded up like a $2 suitcase
right.
because a cocky loudmouth like Jeremy Shockey, whatever his name is, and the other guy, Seahorn, couldn't cover you.
He's got to retire.
That's enough. Get out.
Get out.
Well, yeah, that's why they lost. You're right. I miss you. I mean, you're right on the money. That's two of the reasons why
and
they
they got
lost.
a guy older than I am snapping a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
Trey Junkin. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, they bring this guy to retirement. He can't snap the ball 8 yards.
He couldn't get it done. No. That's right. Yeah.
Looked like Bob Dole trying to.
That will be fine, Charles.
I'm not gonna have the patience today. I don't know. Maybe I should just go home. Maybe I should just go home, I mean.
Like I saw Benigno this morning.
Yeah.
He's the all-night guy here who's a rabid fan.
His
and
team
fan
won.
in New York. I mean, he's beyond rabid.
But his team won, so he's in.
Yeah, go Jets.
Imagine if the Jets had lost like that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, well, he would have been.
He'd have all the assault weapons on him today.
Yeah.
Oh, how great would that have been?
Oh, God.
Well.
I'm taking my life today, I'm telling you.
I was actually at the game with him on Saturday for a
Have
little
the
bit.
Jets stopped scoring yet?
Yeah, they've 41 points and
42 against Green Bay, 41 against these people.
Yeah.
With a good kid like Pennington, unlike that schmucky.
Yeah.
You got to get off of Jeremy
No,
Shockey's
you can't
back.
get
I
off.
mean, the guy's one of the best players in the league.
He lost the game
Really?
for them. He dropped the
He
ball.
did not
in the end
lose
zone.
the game.
Of course he
for
did.
them.
He couldn't
He makes
get
the
it.
catch to win.
Do the math.
He's got to be able to get it done when it counts, not when it doesn't
He
count.
caught a touchdown yesterday.
That
I
didn't
think.
count.
He needed to catch it.
What do you mean it
He
didn't
didn't. Well, I
count?
mean, counted, but you know what I'm saying.
The one he dropped was what he needed to catch.
The one,
He
yeah,
needed
you got to
to.
catch those passes.
Don't you think you have to make a 40-yard field goal? Let's put it this way. Did you watch the Miami-Ohio State game on Friday night?
Yes.
I know Fred fell asleep, but
Yeah.
do you realize that at the end of the regulation, Miami tied the game because Eric Sievers, a college football player, connected on a 40-yard field goal after his own team called a timeout and the Buckeyes called 2 timeouts. They iced this kid for 10 minutes. They called 3 timeouts, and he still stepped up there and kicked the game-tying 40-yard field goal.
Right.
Giants had 2 opportunities to kick a 40-yard field goal and win that game yesterday, and came up short both times.
Right.
Therefore, I cannot blame Jeremy Shockey.
And Schmucky had 2 opportunities to have 2 catches in the end zone for a touchdown, and he didn't get it done either. He did 1 out of 2.
You are
And he needed 2.
You're insanely jealous.
No, the guy's on
of
the
Jeremy
he's
Shockey.
He's
That's
an
what it comes
a-hole.
down to. Why is he an
that's
a-hole?
unprofessional.
It's
Bring back Mark
excitable.
Bavaro and guys like that. Harry Carson.
Bavaro.
Gentlemen who can play the game.
7 minutes till the hour now. Dwight Clark, people like that.
Jerry
Rice. Jerry Rice, thank you. Yeah.
Class.
What is wrong with being excited
Lynn
about the
Swan,
games on
Lynn
the
Swan,
field?
go up and get the ball,
Win
baby.
something first.
Yeah.
He made it to the playoffs. He was one of the reasons why.
Who?
Fine, now win
Jeremy
a game.
Shockey.
Now win a game.
He got lucky getting in the
The
playoffs, too.
defense
the
gave
way.
up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
8 teams had to lose, 2 had to tie, and 1 team had to miss a bus for the Giants to make the playoffs. Who are you kidding? I mean, you need to wake up. What are you, nuts?
I think I'd give him a little more credit. Now I feel really bad about that last guy, Pete. I was in a bad mood today.
Well, you
Nothing I
can't
can do.
holler at these people because, first of all, if their lives are devoted to listening to you morons talk about sports on the radio, then and they want to call up and can't you imagine that they feel as you do about it? Because they're not much brighter than you are.
Right. If their lives are such that they got to make that call that you just received.
That's a call. That's a cry for help when these people call you.
Absolutely.
When they call you, Mad Dog, Francesa, any of you people.
Sid and Jody, first time, long time.
When they call, that's a call for help.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if there's a Giant fan that calls my show today who's like on the bridge and is like, give me one reason not to jump today, Sid, as a fellow Giant fan, I don't have any reasons. Jump.
Well, you can forget the fumble game now, at least.
Just jump. just jump off the bridge.
That game is off now.
Stupid game.
It's not just a stupid game.
That was an Eagle game, right?
Yeah, the Herman Edwards fumble game will now be
Joe
forgotten.
Pisarcik.
Now they got a new game.
You can forget that.
They got a new thing to be proud of.
Yeah. Got a new
new
game
low.
to go into the old giant lore.
A new
All
low.
right.
Up in the Bill Buckner Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Blew a 200-point lead.
Well, we can remember the Shockey dropped pass game.
Oh. The big mouth.
Yep.
Well, the pretty boy.
Who was it was talking about going out and kicking somebody's ass? Who was that?
What, for the Giants?
Yeah.
Nobody said that. It was the Niners that were doing that talking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and the Giants, they got a little excited, I'll admit that, but it's a terrible, terrible loss. I don't know how you just, like Bernie says, it's just another game. That's not even close to being accurate.
Sure.
I've told you this often before, that football, to me, is the closest thing to everyday life. When you start getting analogous about what happens on the football field in 3 hours and what happens in an average man's life in a day, there's not a better analogy. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. I've often said that, right?
I think about it every day.
Yeah.
You had brain cancer tomorrow. None of these guys would give a rat's butt about
true.
it.
That's not
Though
true.
in your case, brain cancer might not be that big a deal. I don't know.
The improvement.
Could be a word.
See what he did there? Like, if they had brain cancer, you think they'll be able to find it?
Is that what that meant?
Yeah, I just want to help you out along here. This goes back to the Gary Owens thing from earlier today.
What did he do?
This is like radio for idiots. We're helping you out a little bit.
You should listen up then.
You really are just... God, what a moron.
Go Jets.
Allen can't get it down. Not Allen can't get it down. He's trying to throw it. He just heaves it downfield. He throws it, and it's incomplete. There's a flag on the play. There's an interference flag, too. It could be interference. Well, was it an illegal man downfield?
In the morning.
Oh, darn. Mohegan Sun is the best place to win in 2003. It can be one of 7,500 guaranteed winners of over $350,000 in instant cash prizes during Mohegan Sun's Swipe and Win event. You can be a winner at Swipe and Win, but only if you're a Players Club member. If you're a member, pick up your cash card at Mohegan Sun today and swipe at one of the 35 Swipe and Win locations throughout the casino every day until January 31st. If you're not a Players Club member, get to Mohegan Sun and sign up today. Membership's free, of course. While you're at Mohegan Sun, catch some of the legendary dining entertainment the casino be having to offer. This month, Mohegan Sun hosts live boxing, Anita Baker, and Bowser's Ultimate Doo-Wop Party Volume 2. And that's just in the arena. Use your Players Club points to buy tickets for these and other events. Visit Mohegan Sun's in-house box office or call them 1-888-226-7711. Mohegan Sun, exit 79A, Interstate 395, Uncasville, Connecticut. Win big one.
The leaky faucet. Put in molding around doors. Replace outside lights.
Ah, yes. Starting the year off with home improvements.
Install dimmer switches. Do something about it.
Right now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center, there's never been a better time to make some great changes around your house.
Get a Home Depot or Expo gift card worth up to $250 by mail-in rebate with purchase of installed flooring. The bigger the purchase, the bigger the gift card. Minimum purchase required. The Home Depot's at-home services can have your new flooring quickly, easily, and professionally installed for you. Plus, get no payments or interest until July 2003 on your Home Depot or Expo consumer credit card. So go to your local Home Depot or Expo and ask an associate about this and other great offers. Get the new look you want now and pay for it later at the Home Depot Design Event. Subject to credit approval. Additional terms apply. See store for details.
New York City is a great place to live, work, and visit. To help keep it that way, the city will be selling general obligation bonds on Monday, January 6th through Wednesday, January 8th. The proceeds of the bonds will be used to help fund important projects.
Sports Radio 66 WFAN. They're talking sports, going at it as hard as they can. It's like in the Mad Dog on the Fan. Nothing can get by 'em. Turn it on and try 'em. Mike is the Mad Dog, WFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog Radio program on a Monday here in New York, the 6th day of January 2003. WFAN, of course, good to have him with us. And the Yes Network along the way is 718-937-6666. Mark Malusis and Chris Collin. This is probably going to be a one-topic day. And only the football giants can, have such a great season, do a great job at 6-6, make the playoffs in dramatic fashion, and then absolutely just rip your heart out in an unbelievable defeat yesterday. Worst loss I can think of in football in a very long time. Good afternoon, Michael. How are you?
Doug, you and I have been sitting here doing this a long, long time, and, we've gone through a lot of great days and a lot of tough days, and this was one where we rode the roller coaster, and, Dog called me a couple times during the game, as he usually does, and we could tell this one was getting antsy.
Television set is
An idiot. Yes,
But you're wrong, aren't you?
No, I'm not wrong, and he is an idiot.
No.
He was asking for an explanation, and you couldn't give it to him.
I gave it to him.
You didn't have to. Well, no, you didn't know what was going on.
No,
Like always happens on the show, they just screen them down. No, shut up. I know what I'm talking about.
They cut him off.
That's all that ever happens.
I'm in a bad mood today as it is. I haven't slept in days. I don't know what's going on. I can't sleep.
Oh, maybe not, huh?
That's all I thought.
No, I liked it. I liked them a lot. I mean, I thought they are stupid.
Yeah. But stupid's funny sometimes.
No. I mean, they're stupid in the way they conducted their career.
Well, yeah, it didn't end up.
They needed somebody to advise them like me or somebody to tell them how far to go.
Right, that would have been a better move for them, sure.
But they didn't call me, and so I didn't. They worked for Viacom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have been more than willing to help them.
Worked, I think, is the better way to say it now.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time.
It's not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
Imus in the morning. Look, girls, JetBlue pilot, 10 o'clock.
Root beer.
Or presidential race. As things stack up right now, I think the Democrats have a problem, such as no ideas, no candidates.
Well,
those are tough to overcome, especially the candidates thing. The other day, William Safire, the fat grammarian guy who has that mercy column in the New York Times. Anyway, Safire dredged up the old 7 dwarfs. Is it dwarfs or dwarves? F or V? Must be F. That's the way Safire goes. But I digress. Anyhow, Safire dredges up the old 7 dwarfs illustration to describe the guys most prominently chasing the Democratic nomination right now. Senators Edwards, Kerry, Daschle, Lieberman, Congressman Dick Gebhardt. What do you figure he's smoking? Howard Dean, the Governor Who of Vermont. And last but not least, the Most Reverend Al Sharpton, black dude from New Jersey who claims he's from New York and was last seen as a bagman for the hardest working guy in show business. Al will be elected president right after me and that f***ing idiot from Neptune who runs Clonade. So here's your problem. No viable candidate, especially coming off the Democrats' larger-than-life Clinton era. No, what I think the loyal opposition desperately needs is another Clinton. Another guy with a little bit of a swagger, a little risky, not afraid to throw a slice of pizza across the living room. And maybe, just maybe, an eye for a well-turned ankle and a traffic stop and rack. But who? Certainly not the stiffs I just mentioned. No, I say that to come up with another Clinton, the Democrats are going to have to think outside the box. In fact, they're going to have to think outside the country. Andy Rooney's first choice for a Clinton successor, based on William Jefferson's inaugural success? Obvious. Kim Jong-il, the 5-foot frat freak from the Democratic, and catch that name, the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. The guy who, much like Clinton, it strikes me, calls himself Great Leader. Is that our Bill or what? Kim's got that bouffant hair thing going for him. So does Bill. Clinton will get his freak on with you now and again. Kim lives at his. In fact, the only scum on the planet who seems to be making a run at Bill's, how shall I put this, at Bill's conquest figures is who? Kim. The late Wilt Chamberlain no longer being with us, God rest his soul. Kim's got, by current CIA stats, 3 official wives and more hangers-on dangling off the bedstead than you can count.
Right.
He knocks back 10 glasses of French wine and half a dozen lobsters at a sitting, all while being massaged by a fistful of attendants who look like Angelina Jolie dragged through a rice paddy. Dirty little things.
Fine.
He's got a seaside palace with a wave machine and a swimming pool, 15,000 porn titles in the media room, and on a trip to Moscow 2 years ago, left his train looking like they just shot Animal House on board it. And now, best of all, just like Clinton, and thanks to Bill, the little jerk's got nukes. You tell me, John Edwards or Jong-il? Not even close. Happy days are here again.
Say, minutes after the hour, time for world and national news. on the heels of that suggestion that makes more sense to me than almost anything else. So, anyway, good morning, Charles.
Good morning,
What's going on,
I-Man.
baby?
Focus is on the economy as the 108th Congress convenes today, I-Man. President Bush is set to unveil an almost $670 billion economic plan during a speech in Chicago. And previewing the package, the president argued that his idea is about economic vitality and growth.
It speaks directly to the American citizen that we'll do everything we can to revitalize the small business sector, to make sure it remains strong so people can find work.
Package is to include the acceleration of across-the-board tax cuts. However, it must first be approved by the closely divided but still GOP-controlled Congress convening today.
Oh.
An FBI search for those 5 guys believed to have slipped into the United States illegally Christmas Eve.
Out of Canada?
Yep.
Oh.
Was apparently a hoax.
Uh-oh.
Broadcast reports say officials received their information from an informant, but it's now believed this guy made up the story in an effort to get himself off the hook on criminal charges he was facing in the United States. So they have called off the nationwide search that caused, all sorts of concern and thoughts of terrorism and so on.
And the Republican convention is going to be in New York City in 04. And the
New York, yep.
Democratic convention is going to be in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Boston, Massachusetts.
A great city, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yep, it is.
You got that mess straightened up to that big dig deal
Nope.
yet? They don't?
Nope, it's
so the people are still in a mess on that?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great city. God. I used to love when we stay there at, Four Seasons?
Yes.
I used to love to run in the park over there.
It's great.
Oh, you've run in that park,
absolutely.
haven't you?
Sure.
That's a great park, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
So, yesterday we conducted a poll on MSNBC. The ratings came out yesterday for Radio New York, and if our ratings were down, the poll was what would radio station management blame it on?
Yeah.
Too much politics, Sid and Janice, or country music. Turns out, not only were they not down, they were up.
Yeah.
They were up as much as they're ever going to be.
Yeah.
So we're never going to beat Howard Stern ever. We're not going to beat the news station ever. And we're not going to beat this Hispanic station.
No, just not in the equation.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
So for our demographic, we are in essence number one. And it's unfortunate because in the 30 years I've been doing this, I'm ratings proof. It doesn't make any difference what the ratings are. The audience is what it is. I said, you know what the audience is. It's a very high profile, whatever you are. I mean, obviously a few of you goobers, but other than that, it's the best audience. Even it's the best audience in radio or television, even better than National Public Radio or any of that. It's just a great audience. So you left us with nothing.
Thanks.
We were sitting back there figuring out what to do, and here comes Mark and Lee wanting to high-five me and Charles, in which I threatened them with. I won't tell you what I threatened them with, but I did threaten them.
Just get out.
Just get out of my office. So they screwed us, essentially.
Thanks for killing a bit, essentially.
Michael Barnacle is coming up. Now, the New York Stock Exchange Business Report is sponsored, well, guess by who? The New York Stock Exchange.
All right.
On Wednesday, January 8th, Doral Financial Chairman Solomon Lewis will ring the opening bell. The Silver Age Company's transfer from NASDAQ to the New York Stock Exchange. Does Dasani water make anything other than this 12-ounce bottle of water?
I have no clue.
They need to make I want a 16-ounce bottle.
Okay.
Because it takes just too much trouble to keep track of.
Well, they're now notified. Let's crank it up. Let's crank it up, baby. Let's crank it up.
Anyway, Solomon Lewis is going to ring the opening bell. The Silver Age Company is transferred from NASDAQ to the exchange. Company based in Puerto Rico will trade under the ticker symbol DRL. Oh, that's great. Now, Bob Schieffer's book, This Just In, What I Couldn't Tell You on TV, published by Putnam, apparently it's not going to be out until... the official publication date is January 22nd. Today is the 7th. But it's obviously available. You can buy it at BarnesandNoble.com. You can buy it at Amazon.com. I don't know if it's actually in stores or not, but I suspect it might be.
Mm-hmm.
And it begins with this bizarre story of when he was at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
It's unbelievable.
As a police reporter. And President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. And all of the reporters from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram were essentially sent to Dallas to cover this thing.
Uh-huh.
And Bob was about the only one left around the newspaper there, and the phones are ringing off the hook, and so he's answering the phones as quickly as he could. And one of the calls came from Lee Harvey Oswald's mother, wanting to know if somebody could give her a ride to Dallas, that her son had been accused of killing the president. And Schieffer was the guy who answered the phone.
Yep.
And thus begins this book of his, and he's become, of course, one of the more prominent journalists on the planet.
Sure.
And not to sound like a moron, but he I don't know, I just never thought, for years I never thought of Brokaw as, I just thought he was a pretty guy. He was a pretty guy doing news. But he's very smart.
No kidding.
And so is Schieffer. He writes a little bit like Andy Rooney, who's a great writer.
Yeah.
And so is Schieffer, by the way. But it's just, I was up till midnight reading this thing.
Holy cow.
And these stories are just one fascinating story after another. You know how he hooked up with CBS News, how that whole stuff in Vietnam, his meeting Eric Sevareider at the urinal, and I mean, it's just a great book. It's a great book, and it's a history lesson because it's essentially from the Kennedy assassination through September 11th. I mean, it's just a great book. This just in. So now is he going to want to be on the program to promote the book?
Yes, he will.
Why? That's not necessary.
He's misguided.
Go on the Today Show, or go on. Why wouldn't he want to go on the other shows? Go on Larry King. Go on Charlie Rose. Go on.
He's got an affection for the I-Man.
I mean, people don't sell any books, but he doesn't need to come on here to sell a book. I mean, he can come on like he ordinarily does as a regular guest.
Well, that's why.
But just to come on specifically to promote the book is not necessary.
We're not going to have that.
Are we?
Why can't he come on, for crying out loud, just as a guest, and in the course of that, talk about the book a little bit? What's wrong with that?
I'll talk about the book.
I know you're talking about the book.
It's redundant. Well, people will be already, by the time he gets here, it will already be on the bestseller list.
That's fine.
Well, then why?
Well, maybe this way you and he can consummate your relationship.
What relationship?
Well, the very affectionate relationship that you two have is
journalistic fellatio you're performing on Mr. Schieffer here this morning.
Well, this is the only book that I've ever been enthusiastic about? I don't think so. Stocks closed up in this New York Stock Exchange Business Report higher yesterday on Wall Street, up around 172 points the Dow was.
Yeah.
Well, what else is going on in the business community? AT&T is going to cut 3,500 jobs, writing off more than $1 billion while bracing for a blow to its entry into the local phone market. Well, I don't know. They're having some problems. I like AT&T, but I don't know. That guy who was running it I guess I got rid of him, but God, he was a disaster. Celine Dion is going to appear in Chrysler commercials. Why? God, what an annoying, hatchet-faced shrew.
You've got me.
She's just a
That does not sound like a good idea.
Awful.
Unless her feet are sticking out of a LeBaron.
Oh, my God.
We don't want to see her.
God, what an awful
From out from under one, I should say.
Grief.
Mercedes-Benz has introduced its new SL600 two-door sports car. Why wasn't I told about this from Austro?
I don't know. Drop the ball.
With a V12 engine. Have you seen the Cadillac V16?
I have not. No.
$250,000.
No, I have not.
That's a pretty bad-looking car.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And then the Mercedes also has this Maybach or Maybach, or whatever it's called.
Seen that? Yeah.
That's going for $300,000.
Yep.
And then Rolls-Royce.
Yep.
They've got a new one for $330,000.
Right.
For a car.
Saw a photograph of that.
Well, why would you want that?
$330,000 worth? I don't know, but there will be a market for it. Limited.
Show you're a player.
That's right.
I'm a player.
That's it.
Check this out.
Look what I got.
Well, I mean,
that's a lot of money.
Oh, I did buy a Rolls Royce one time. That was a mistake.
Sure.
Which I sold to Charles, incidentally.
In fact, with a vanity license plate.
Well, that was not my idea. I used it for one day. I put it on the car and I was driving out to the Hamptons and I couldn't get there.
Oh man!
People were trying to pull me over. Well, yeah, I mean, That's the ratings reflection. They're very popular
There you-
individual here.
there
in
you
East
go.
Coast.
It's a great deal of affection for the.
But I mean, in this day and age, in this climate,
Oh, I mean, they were.
can't some moron paying $300,000 for a car. So I mean, should be arrested, shouldn't they?
And what did they introduce at the auto show? Has a with 1,000 horsepower.
That's the Cadillac.
Is that the Cadillac?
V16, 1,000
Oh, is that
horsepower.
it? 1,000
Yeah.
horsepower.
More horsepower than Jeff Gordon's car.
Yeah, we now got a testosterone thing going on among the auto manufacturers. Mine bigger than yours, baby. That kind of deal.
And you'd want one, wouldn't you?
1,000 horsepower?
Yeah.
You're damn right.
Anyway, that's a business report sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange. It's 19 minutes after the hour.
Get past the people, get past the hitman. Imus in the morning.
I believe very strongly in the so-called service profit chain. We create shareholder value by doing the job for customers.
We were at the new... That camera that you used, that both flipped out on, remember the camera both flipped out on?
Oh, yeah, the one that shoots the back of his head, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a sand trap, Bo's head, but he got... You can't put Bernie on that camera because, I mean, it looks like the moon. You can't put me through this.
What do you mean, Bernie?
I don't know what you're talking about. Get off my phone, you
No,
moron.
that camera. That camera.
Get off my phone, you moron.
Sounds like a
It's
giant
25 after the hour. Don't put these idiots on the air. I mean, don't give me these calls. What's wrong with you?
I thought we might spice things up a little bit.
Nothing. This guy's an idiot.
With Mike Einstein from Long Island.
I mean, you can't put these nitwits. Let them call a radio station here in New York the other parts of the day. Don't have them call me. Here's Janice Dean with the Scum Report. Good morning, Janice.
It's such chemistry.
Sounds like a big fan.
Another train wreck of a reality show premiered last night on Fox. Joe Millionaire tells the story of a 28-year-old construction worker who lies to 20 desperate, sleazy, gold-digging women, making them believe he's worth $50 million.
What's the matter, son?
The way she characterizes these specific 20-something women as gold-digging women, instead of just telling the truth, which is the women race, for the most part, overwhelmingly is a bunch of gold diggers. You just pick out these 20-something
No, that's
girls.
not true.
Outside of my wife and I, Mrs. Wife, the rest, and my mother, the rest of women are all gold diggers. Every
I'm
one
not.
Of you. Oh, you are the worst of
I
the
am
worst.
not.
Oh, please, please.
I like men for their personality.
Oh, God,
okay,
get out of
right.
here,
All
Janice.
right, okay.
I mean, what are you, nuts?
Please.
It's true.
Please. You got the 100,000 rule, don't you?
What's that?
You don't marry anybody who makes less than $100,000.
Well, I haven't met one of those yet.
That's why you're not married yet, good looking.
Shania Twain, dubbed the highest-paid lap dancer in country music, will be performing at the halftime show at the Super Bowl, January 26th. And real-life Joe Millionaire, executive editor of the New York Times, is walking the plank.
Who?
Howard Raines.
What?
He's getting married.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he is. No kidding.
Well, who was that kid in here who plays the guitar named Jeff Raines? Where'd he come from? With Galactic. Isn't that his kid?
Yeah, that is his kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's he marrying? Angela Davis?
He's getting married to a Polish public relations princess,
Oh, he's been living with her for years.
Christina Stachowiak.
Yeah, that's been odd. They've been on.
You might be getting an invite to the wedding.
I wouldn't count on it.
Would you go?
Of course not. I wouldn't go anywhere.
Sure, you go.
Might be fun hobnobbing.
Here's how.
You can meet Fidel Castro.
Let me tell you why the Donahue show has to be canceled.
What's that?
And it has to be canceled today.
What happened?
Because they have people on the show who are so far removed from what's going on in their life, and what's going on in the world, that they should all be fired. We actually got a call in my office yesterday inviting me to appear as a guest on Donahue's show.
Oh, my God.
With Mario Cuomo and Bernard Goldberg.
Oh, my God.
Now, why would I go? First of all,
oh, my God.
I mean, you have to know I don't appear on any television show.
That's it.
Not Larry King anymore, nothing.
Just begin there.
And but why would I go on with those two losers?
My God.
On Donahue's? I mean, I told Kara, says, is there anything you want me to tell them? I said, tell them if they ever call here again, I will have them arrested.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what she tells them because she said she would tell them that. She probably did.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure she did.
But, I mean, how far removed from reality are you if you make that call if you're working for Donahue?
Clueless.
I mean, you can't...
Mr. Amos?
No wonder they can't. They suck. They don't know what's going on.
We'd like to invite you to be...
I mean, you got to know you have to know that I'm a jerk, and I'm not going to go on. Well, actually, I'm not a jerk. I'm just not going on that show.
They want to bring up their ratings.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine that? Me, Bernard Goldberg, and Mario Cuomo talking about...
It was a horrible show. I actually caught it last night.
Did you?
It's terrible.
Who did they get?
They got some radio talk show host who I never heard of before.
No, of course.
Soupy Sales came out.
I mean, honest to God.
Came out of retirement.
You can't make a call to my office and think you're going to get some kind of What are you, nuts?
With us is cousin Brucey and Bernard Goldberg.
Scott Shannon, Bernard Goldberg, and Mario Cuomo. Oh my God!
Tonight, Tom Brokaw on the Donahue Show.
Wow.
Yes, that's true. Tom Brokaw is going to be
that's
on
impressive.
the Donahue Show.
Now, Brokaw is good enough to go on that show. Certainly, I'm in.
Now, I mean, I don't understand that, but I mean, that's what, But they're all friends, Brokaw. They all go to the same parties, and so, no, Brokaw shouldn't go on. That's disgraceful that he's going on.
There's not one show in America you would go on right now. There's not
Larry
one...
King, you would go on.
No,
Larry.
he's done with Larry.
No,
he's done.
There's not one show. There's not one show.
We'd like to see him on Unsolved Mysteries. I'll tell you that.
I get invited on a Tonight Show. I like Jay Leno's fine. I'm not. The answer is no.
Not going on.
I'm not going on. I don't need to go on. I don't want to go on. Leave me alone. There's no reason. If I ever do a book again, which Simon & Schuster probably would like, then I might go on, but I might not then. Why? I don't need to.
You wouldn't go on Letterman? You wouldn't go on Letterman?
No. God, no.
What? Really?
No.
Oh, that's awful.
Or Conan O'Brien, I get it. No, God.
What about Jon Stewart's show?
No.
You wouldn't go on that either, really?
No, and I like him, but no.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
What happens if Dick Clark goes in next year to beat down with the people on the street in Times Square?
That's different. That's different.
God, that was awful. Oh, he is a phony. Of course, he's been a phony little schmuck for years. Dick Clark, I've never liked him.
I thought you liked Dick. It always works. Such a cheap joke.
It works at Sid every time.
Yes, it's a lot.
He's a guaranteed
Otherwise, there would be crickets.
Hey, a Dick! Oh, my God. Just put him in the audience anytime.
He's a very funny guy.
Have we done any commercials yet?
No, we need to do a second set.
And then where's Barnacle? Isn't he coming up?
And he'll be right up after that set.
Did you do any scum report?
I did. You want one more?
Yeah.
According to a new poll out for Him magazine, 22% of women can put their fist in their mouth.
I don't know what does that mean?
Well, isn't that impressive?
All right.
I guess.
You don't find that impressive at a party? I come up to you and I say I can put a fist in my mouth?
I'd like to see that, somewhere else, actually.
That's a talent.
I think in Sid's case, he would, if you could simply get a pencil in your mouth, would be enough for him.
Well, allow me to introduce myself, stranger. The name is...
Imus in the morning.
The season of celebration is officially over. Now, what do you do about the holiday weight gain? Make your fitness resolution work with a New York Sports Club's membership. Remember, it's not an impossible resolution if you join the right gym. New York Sports...
Just about every day now.
Higgins Law violation, Sidney Rosenberg.
All right, the NFL admitting they made a mistake. That's right. There should have been pass interference called on Rich Seibert downfield, and guess what? The Giants should have had a second opportunity to kick that game-winning field goal against San Francisco. They're showing it right now on MSNBC. 6 seconds left. Giants down 39-38. Tam Hopkins was, in fact, illegally downfield. They should have thrown that flag as they did, but there also should have been an interference call on the play. If they call that, offsetting penalties, and the game cannot end on offsetting penalties. Therefore, Matt Bryant would have had one more shot at the 40-yard field goal. And who knows what could have happened.
One more shot to hook it left.
Probably, but Fossil, of course, saying that Trey Junkin, who had retired and come out of retirement to be the long snapper, he would not have been the snapper if they would have tried it one more time. They probably would have gone back to Chris Bober or one of those guys. Nevertheless, the game is over. Nothing you can do about it now, so the refs admit they blow the call, but the 49ers will still play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Saturday, and the Giants' season is still over. By the way, Bill Parcells naming former Giant running back Maurice Carthon as his offensive coordinator as he starts to assemble his coaching staff in Dallas with the Cowboys. And Hall of Fame baseball notes, bunch of guys trying to get in this year, including former Met catcher, the kid, Gary Carter, looking to get into the Hall of Fame.
Huh. You got to come up with some better sportscasts. I mean, it's such a drop-off from Breen that, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I am not
getting it done.
I am not going to disparage Michael Breen. He is.
You shouldn't. You suck.
He is fantastic.
No,
he is one of the all-time greats.
Charles, help me here.
Well,
that's the point.
He's absolutely right. I mean, at least he recognizes it at least.
He's great. You aren't. You suck.
Imus in the morning.
We start hear about that Oral-B toothbrush.
What's the deal, baby?
You're brushing your toothbrush with it.
Yeah.
Get the funk off your teeth, baby. Get that funk off your teeth, baby. Ooh, get that funk off your teeth. Get the funk off your teeth.
What do I want off my teeth, man?
Funk, baby. The Oral-B, the brush pulses in and out and rotates at the same time. It cleans below the gum line, preventing and even reversing gum disease. More dentists and hygienists prefer brushing with the Oral-B 3D XL. I use it 2-3 times a day, twice a day, certainly.
Yeah.
It's been clinically proven to clean your tooths better than any other toothbrush. And it keeps teeth white longer by naturally removing coffee, tea, and tobacco stains and other stains, baby. Get that Oral-B. Go by where you think you might be able to get a toothbrush.
Morning. Welcome to Howie's House of Neon.
Aye. You made me a sign a few years.
Described as the seven dwarfs or dwarves.
Yeah.
We're not sure which is. He went with dwarfs.
Right.
F, right?
He went with F, with that plural, right.
Also, Liza and David, some thoughts on Bill Parcells going to the Dallas Cowboys. And Bo Dietl is here. So we'll get to all of that. But first here with World and National News is my friend Charles McCoy. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, man. Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist says he is charged up, as he put it, as Republicans officially take control of the Senate today as the 108th Congress opens. Frist, who's also a surgeon, says that health care issues will be on top of his agenda, including strengthening Medicare and making sure senior citizens can get the medicines they need. And then the president takes the wraps off his long-awaited economic stimulus plan today, this big speech in Chicago. It includes across-the-board tax cuts, but is being criticized by Democrats who say it is mostly aimed at helping the wealthy. But Secretary of Commerce Donald Evans says, no, that is not true.
It's a great plan, and it's a great plan for all Americans. This is a plan where all Americans win. We're not trying to pick winners and losers.
It's about a $600 billion tax cut package, would eliminate the income tax that investors pay on stock dividends. It would speed up income tax breaks set to take effect in 2004 and 6. And it would give $400 rebate checks to middle-class parents. Administration officials said last night the plan also would include $3.6 billion over 2 years to help the unemployed find jobs. Those who qualify could receive up to $3,000 to pay for child care, job training, transportation, moving costs, and other job search-related expenses. People who find jobs within 13 weeks could keep the balance, keep any leftover money. Mr. Bush will ask...
joke.
Mr. Bush will ask Congress to extend unemployment benefits then for more than 750,000 Americans whose benefits ran out December 28th. Senate Republicans plan to offer today a 12-week extension of that.
8 minutes after the hour here in the Imus in the Morning program. We're here now on a Imus in the Morning roundtable. This morning's question is Kim Jong-il. I'll make a deal with him or kill him, Bo.
I think that we should make a deal with them. I think we should give them some more food for the population in North Korea. Show that we're kind in general. Like I was trying to tell Al Sharpton on Hardball the other night. Did you watch it on Friday night? They had Reverend Al, myself, and
yeah, that's what I watched. Hardball.
Barnacle was the host.
Wake up, please.
Oh, Barnacle.
Friday night was the national championship football game.
I think
between Ohio State and
it wasn't
Miami.
on yet when I was on, but I really believe that we should give food to the North Koreans.
Okay.
And I don't like this idea
Bernie,
about
what do you think we should do?
I think we should strike them, kill them, knock out the nuke plant.
Lou, what do you think?
I think they should replay the Giants-San Francisco ending, and the Giants should get another chance at kicking that field goal.
No, we're talking about Kim Jong-il.
Kim Jong-who?
A little freak from North Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, nuke him.
Okay, Sid, kill him or make a deal?
I don't even know who the hell the guy is. I'm not a big fan of the Chinese to begin with.
He's not Chinese, they're Korean, Sid.
He's a little guy, looks a little bit like Jon Stewart with glasses.
Kill him with that.
Yeah, okay. Chuck?
Take him down.
Kill them all.
You see, this is this show is a very, very warmongertatious show. And I think it's a little wrong. It's a little wrong. You have innocent people that we just can't nuke innocent people.
Oh, no, we're not going to nuke him. Just take him down.
We should send them a lot of rice.
Killing him.
We should send them a lot of rice and Joey Pots and Pan sauce.
We were sending them food, Bo. We were sending them food.
Well, you got to send them soon. You know these people. Have you ever gone to Korea? I've gone to Korea with Shelley Taylor.
We vacationed there during the holidays.
No, did you ever go to Seoul, Korea?
No.
The Korean people happen to be good. You know, just don't think that Korean people are these convenience stores. Korean people are nice people. They love America. They're a lot better than the Japanese.
We're talking about one guy.
No, we're talking about the North Koreans.
What did you have, a heart attack or an epiphany?
No,
Wake up.
I love